Hey everybody, hi, how are you? Cheryl here with cardsbycheryl.com. Thanks for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I'm happy to have you back. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Cheryl Horvath and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of Gladwin, Michigan. So very cold and yucky rainy day today, but our snow is starting to melt and there is spring on the horizon. So I'm super excited for that. Today I'm going to show you how to make a card that kind of blew up my Pinterest account. It's very simple, clean and simple, but it does use a multitude of products. So normally when I do a tutorial for you guys, I basically focus on one bundle or one stamp set and kind of make it easy. This card, one night I had to make a birthday card that I wanted to be kind of universal for, meaning, you know, not a girly card, not a masculine card. I just needed kind of a general all-purpose birthday card. And I thought I would start by using the really cute Friendly Seagull stamp set that was a celebration item. And so hopefully many of you have this stamp set. It is the Friendly Seagulls. And so we're going to use one of the little seagulls from this stamp set, and then we're going to use a couple of other different products that I'll show you too. But this card was super popular in my Pinterest account. And so I just thought, well, what the heck, I'll show you guys how I made it. So let me put the camera down. And there we go. And hopefully my lighting's okay. So here's the Friendly Seagulls set. We're going to use the birthday balloons from Spring Corners. And then the inside of the card is going to have a happy birthday sentiment with some coordinating stamping. And that stamp set, can't English today, with you in mind. And then which is also a current, these are all current sets except for the Friendly Seagulls. That was a celebration item. So you either have it or you don't. You can't order it anymore. It was one of the free items from the promotion that happened in January and February. So you could replace the seagull. We're going to use the seagull on the card, and you don't necessarily have to use a seagull. You could use any other little critter that you might have in your stamp set. But these three sets that we're using today are all current products in the online catalog, and you can order them through my store if you're interested in recreating this card. So to get started, and the other product I use is this rectangle set, and it's called Textured Notes Dies. And I really love this set. We don't have a current set of rectangle dies until now, and this has some really great detail in the rectangles, stitching and different things. So this comes as part of a bundle or a larger suite, and but you could buy the standalone dies too if you just wanted to have the rectangle dies, which I highly recommend. So okay, so let's get some stamping done, and I'm going to start with stamping. See, I have a bunch of little seagulls that I already did cut and colored. This is the guy we're gonna do today, this little guy, but I could use him, but I'm going to, I already have the stamp out, but I'm going to stamp it just to show you how I colored it. So I'm just going to grab some spare scrap white paper, and there's my little seagull, and I'm going to use, this is something new I'm trying. I think it was Ange McKay, something Coast, I forget her, East Coast Stamper, no, I can't remember. Darn it, I'll link it below. Anyway, I think she's the one that told me we should try this. This was a blank, unstamped ink pad that you get at Stampin' Up! And it's usually sold with, or it is sold with a tube of the white. So you can make your own white Stampin' Up! Ink pad. I inked it up with Memento black ink. And because it's got a different, the Stampin' Up! Ink pads are foam. If you buy the Memento ink, it's got the cloth ink pad. I'm not using words very good today. I don't know how to describe it. I think it is cloth, but these are foam. And so I think she said, once you try this with your Memento black ink, you'll never go back to the other one. So I'm giving it a try. So this took a fair amount of ink to ink up, because when it comes, it's completely white. It's got no ink in it at all. And so you've got to saturate it pretty good to fill it all up and make it usable. But I think I used, like, I don't know, maybe a third of a bottle of Memento ink. It's the little refill bottles you can buy. So I just did that and inked it up, and we're just playing with it to see how it works. So I use my Stampin' Pierce mat when I'm using the photopolymer, just because it provides a little cushion, and the paper receives the ink a little bit better, and I think I need to do it this way. So and when I do photopolymer stamping, I look through from the top down to make sure I've got good coverage of my ink onto the stamp. And so that's what I was doing just there. So I'm going to just press straight down, hold it for a second, and we have a very beautiful, I'm trying to find the camera angle here, beautiful stamped image right there. So that's done. Now, while we're stamping, we're going to color this, but let's get the rest of our stamping done first. The next thing we're going to stamp is the balloons, and that is from the Spring Corner set. And these have some really great dies too. We're going to use the die from it. I did it again. I've got the stamp already out, ready to go. Okay, so here's the little balloon, and just going to use, I think I was supposed to use this for the balloons, and I did it wrong, and this for the seagulls. Will that fit? Actually, it will. Okay, so we're just going to go straight down. Okay, there we go. Nice crisp image. So far, I'm liking the ink on this ink pad. Let me just show you the difference, because sometimes this ink pad, it comes out a little wonky. Here's just a piece of scrap. Okay, so do you guys see the difference? You can really tell. And I just re-inked this, by the way, so it's not a matter of not having enough ink in my stamp case. So this one is the one with the foam Stampin' Up! Ink pad, and this is the Memento ink pad with the cloth. So there's definitely a big difference. So give it a try, guys. You can order this through StampinUp.com. I think it's, I don't want to guess on how much it is. I'll tell you. I'll link it below and show you guys. Okay, so that's done. Let's put this away. Let's see, do we have any more right now inking to do? We can do the hay. So that's from Sane Hay. I love this stamp set. It's just, it's got some kind of non-traditional, you can do this. I'm so glad you exist. Insert clever message here. I haven't used that yet, but it's kind of cute. So it's a good basic sentiment set to have. So I've already got this out. We're going to use the nice big bold hay. And where's my scrap paper for that? I don't have it. We're going to use this again. So bring this back out. And I used Blueberry Bushel for my color. You can use whatever color scheme if you want. If you wanted to go with the green, green would be cool with the seagull. I just thought, I don't use this color very often, and it seemed bright and cheery, and I wanted to go with it. So I'm just going to stamp this. We're going to fussy cut this out, so that's why I'm using scrap. There we go. Looks good. It's a very rich blue. I love it. Okay, let's close this up. Clean this off. Okay. All right, now we're going to do some coloring. So this we're going to fussy cut. I can put this away. And let's zoom in a little bit so that you can see what I'm coloring. I'm using, there we go. I'm using basically 4 colors in an ink blender for this card. So I'm using Smoky Slate, Light and Dark, the ink blender so that I can blend the Smoky Slate a little bit. And then on the balloons, I'm using Blueberry Bushel, Light and Dark. So I'll show you how quick and easy this is to color. So I always start with the light. Oh, and I'm going to bring in some yellow for the French fry he's holding in his beak and his feet. So I'll grab those in a second. So I always start light to dark first. So, and I'm just going to put, there's no rules over where you color the shadow. I mean, you just want to add where you think there might be a shadow. So like under his wing, over here on the bottom half of his wing, and maybe a little bit there. And I'm going to put a little shadow here on the top of his head, just like that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of dark accent. This is the Smoky Slate Dark. So I'm going to just accentuate that shadow a little bit. It's really not rocket science. You just want to basically give it a little bit of dimension. Then you're going to take your blender pen, and I like to use the nib end for this, so you can get pretty precise. And I like to do little circular swirly motions to kind of just blend it in. Soften the edges up a little bit. I probably should have put a little Smoky Slate light here also. And then blend that in a little bit. And that's all there is to it. So now we're going to grab, I think I used Pumpkin Pie for his feet, and then Daffodil Delight for the French fries. Super easy coloring. Like that. Pumpkin Pie for the beak. So cute. And then just a little bit of pumpkin pie dark, like that. Okay. While we're coloring, we're going to grab the light and dark of the blueberry bushel. Hopefully I'm doing this on camera. I didn't even look up to see. Now I like to make a little white spot highlight on the balloon as if it's reflecting shadow. So the way I do that is I draw it in. This is smoky, or this is blueberry bushel light. So I just draw in a white spot just like that. And I do the same for these. Now, if you didn't want to do the little light reflection, you could if you have a white gel pen marker, you could put it in on top of the blue ink after it dries. So just like that. It just kind of makes it look a little more realistic. And then I'm going to come back in with the dark and put in a little bit of shadow on the opposite side of where the light reflection is. And then come back in one more time with the light and kind of just soften that line a little bit. Like so. Okay, all the coloring's done. Let's put those away. So we have to fussy cut this. We have to fussy cut this. Whoops. Let's get back out. So we have to fussy cut this. We have to fussy cut this. And we're going to die cut these. And the Spring Corners die set, when you buy the bundle, it has the balloons, but super easy to fussy cut these out if you didn't have them. So let's do that really fast. And I'm doing this off camera because my die cutter's off to the right of my desk over here. If you have the Stampin' Cut and Emboss Machine Mini, this goes through the Mini super nice too. So there's our balloons. Put that aside. We do need to die cut an inside piece. I've already done that, but that's using the second largest. Is that true? Yeah, the second largest rectangle in this set, this one right here, is what I used to die cut this piece, which is going to be on the front of our card. So that's already done. Put that aside. Let's fussy cut real fast. And I'll show you that I basically get it down to a manageable size for my hands. And I'm just going to leave a little white border around and just kind of go slow and make the turn. And then I'm going to go straight across. I'm not going to cut up into the H or the E. That's just not necessary. Get rid of that. Then I'm going to go around the Y and around the period. And notice I'm turning the paper, not my hand, not my scissor hand. And I'm going slowly just so that I don't make any sudden cuts. Let's get rid of that. The less bulk you have in your hand when you're fussy cutting, the better, I think. So just go right around that H on the top. There. So that's what that looks like. And then the seagull, also leaving a white border, and I'm just kind of cutting around his little feet here. I'm not going to cut up in between his two legs. That's just a little too much. Not necessary for this card, I don't think. So I'm just kind of doing loose. I am going to cut down around his wing, which is not that bad. You either like to fussy cut or you don't. I like it. But I know there are a lot of you out there that are like, ugh, no thank you. But you can save some money by not buying the dies on some of our bundles if you like to fussy cut. I always find that the very last part is the hardest. Okay, that looks pretty good. So there's our pieces. And we are going to get ready to put this on the card. So I did, the other product we need is the cloud. punch. I used a cloud punch. This, unfortunately, is not available anymore. So if you don't have it, what I would suggest you do is just draw a cloud use a pencil, draw a cloud of your shape of your choosing on some white paper and fussy cut it out. It's simple as that. I didn't show you the inside of this card, so that's what the inside's going to look like. Okay, so we have this. We have our blueberry bushel matte border, and I just cut this 1/8 of an inch bigger than this rectangle. So if I were to measure, the rectangle die cut measures 3 1/4 by 4 and, well, let's call it 3/4. And so you just cut a blueberry bushel piece just 1/8 of an inch bigger. So 3 1/4 plus 1/8 would be 3 3/8, and then what did I say? 4 3/4 plus 1/8 would put that at 4 7/8. Okay, so we're gonna glue. Well, we have to stamp. We have to stamp the birds on here still. So let's do that. And did I get the birds out? I do. I have the birds out, and we're gonna punch a cloud. So we know, because we want the birds to be kind of behind the cloud. So I'm just gonna grab another piece of scrap here. I love punches. There's something so satisfying about that sound and just having a perfect shape pop out. So let's just what I call dry fit on here. So we're going to have the hay down here with the seagull sitting on top of it and the balloons in the background like that. And then the clouds can overhang a little bit. So I think I'm going to put the birds right about there. So cute. This card is so cute. Okay. Perfect. All right. I really do like how this ink stamps on that pad. Okay. We are almost done. We're going to assemble this. Make sure there's no ink on my hands. I wreck so many cards by not checking my hands first. So I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid glue. And I am avoiding the border here because it's cut. So there's a pattern, it's cut, and it will seep through. So I avoid glue on that very edge. And we're just going to center this on there, just like that. Do I have a card base out? I do. So here's my card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Gonna fold it. Grab my really dirty bone folder. I tried to get it clean, but it doesn't come clean. That's okay. So this is going to go down on the center, and I like the nice wide border, but we're going to put this down first so that we know how far we can overhang the cloud, if that makes sense. And that centers nicely. So just like that. All these things are going to get popped up with dimensionals. So grab your sheet of dimensionals, and I need my tweezers. I used to have fingernails, but I stopped doing that, about a year ago. I really do miss having manicured nails, but it didn't feel very healthy to me anymore, so I stopped. But that's why I use the tweezers now, because actually I want to go with smalls. It's just, I don't know, my little stubby fingers don't grab the dimensionals as well without my nails. So I'm going to put a few on here just to make sure it's nice and secure. It's probably overkill, but so that's going to go down there like that. And then on the back of the balloon, we're going to go like this and like this. And then this part will get glued flat. So we will, when we adhere this, we're going to put some glue down. And then the cloud. Let's do 3 like that. Okay, so I think I want to put the cloud right about there with the birds peeking out behind it. Just like that. And then we'll start at the bottom and work our way up. So we'll put the hay down. This is a great card for a guy or a girl. I sent this card to my daughter-in-law. Not my daughter-in-law, my stepdaughter. My daughter-in-law got a different card. So that's going to go there. But we want to put the balloons down first so that we have the balloons in the right spot, because I kind of want it to look like he's holding, or they're attached to his back wing somehow. So we're going to use our tweezers, and I'm going to say right about there. Just glue that down. And have his little feet. I should probably put some glue right on the very, so that it doesn't flip up going in and out of the envelope, so that that sets down just like that. Okay, so there's the front of our card all done. Isn't it cute? Now let's do the inside real fast, and this card is done. So do I have a sheet? Let's see. Not cut down. So I cut the insides. I do a second layer of white inside my cards, and I cut those to 5 1/4 by 4, which this already is. And then we're going to grab the happy birthday. I use this stamp set a lot too. It's just great. It's got best wishes, thank you, happy birthday, and thinking of you. It's like, and it's a nice big bold sentiment. So put that on this block here, and I think I'm going to do it in, how did I do it? Oh, I put a liner on it too. So let's do that. I'm going to do it in the blue, just like this. So I need to cut this down even more, because the liner is going to be the 5 1/4 by 4. The blue mat, it will be 5 1/4 by 4, and so the inside white piece will be just a hair smaller than that. So we're going to cut that to 5 1/8. You could do 5 5 if you don't want to mess around with eighths, and 3 7/8. So just shaving off 1/8 of an inch off each of the two sides. And then blueberry bushel is, I've got a spare piece right here. So my blueberry bushel, I'm going to cut this down to, like I said, 5 1/4 by 4. Did I do this right? Yay. Okay. So we're going to stamp this before we glue it on, just in case we make a mistake. And I'm going to get out my Stampin' Pierce mat again. So we're going to do Happy Birthday Full Strength ink. That looks good. Right about there. Love it. And you'd think it would stain, but the blueberry bushel doesn't stain the ink, or the stamp. So then we're going to grab the star and the cupcake. So I'm going to put the cupcake on, and the star gets stamped 2nd generation ink. And for those of you who are like, what the heck is 2nd generation ink? That just means you stamped it off once to make the ink a little bit lighter. So this is full strength, and then that would be 2nd generation right there. So we're going to ink it up, stamp it off on our paper, put a star, ink it up, put a star. And I kind of goofed because I put the star where the cupcake should be. So maybe I'll put the cupcake over here. And I did that in Lost Lagoon. What color should I do it for this card? Let's do Granny Apple Green. That's kind of a weird color for a cupcake, but I like the green and the blue together. So let's just try this first. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so that's going to go right up there. Just like that. Put this away. We're going to put this down on top of that. Okay, grab our card that we just did, and we're going to put that down inside. Okay, there's our card, guys. Let me zoom out a little bit. There's the first one I made. They're actually pretty close. I love it. So like I said, if you didn't have a seagull, let me see what I have here. I've got a bunch of, I sort my stamps. I have a category called animals. Let's see here. If you've got Fluffiest Friends, this little guy would be cute. You could use that, or even the bunny sitting on the hay. That would be cute. If you've got the Darling Dinos, you could do him, the big, tall, skinny dinosaur. You could put him on there. This is Zany Zoo. I think this is retired. This guy is already holding the balloons, so you could do him with the balloons and not have to have the spring corner set. I don't feel like that one would work. This is another old Celebration set. If you had, that might work. Oh, this would be cute. Also a Celebration set from a long time ago. That little owl, or with the birthday hat, that would be totally cute, sitting on top of the hay. That's not going to work. This is also a Celebration. Old Celebration. This little donkey, that would be adorable. Hay, sitting right on top of it. Playing in the Rain. The little turtle could work. Nuts About Squirrels. That little squirrel or that squirrel would work. Totally cute. And then, don't think that would work. So go through your stamp sets with little critters on them and find one that you like and recreate this if you don't have the Seagull set. And just kind of do your own thing. So, okay. I told you this was going to be short and sweet. So, let's see. I have some upcoming videos planned. I'm going to be showing you some of the new products that just launched on March 4th. We're going to start with the Textured Sweets bundle, or Textured Notes Suite. I got the suite, but you could also buy the bundle. Anyway, my plan is to have showcase some of those cards for you in that video coming up in a day or two. All right, that's it for me. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon and do something fun, do something crafty. And, oh, I wanted to ask one more thing. Go online to StampinUp.com, have a look at the new online exclusives, have a look at the new, you can click on what's new and scroll through. If you see something there you like, let me know if you'd like me to do a card tutorial on it or expand on it and just show you. I have so many of the new things that I'm just kind of going through, but if there's one in there in particular that you would love to see me focus on, I would love to hear from you. So let me know, put a note in the comments, and we'll see what you guys think. All right, that's it for me. Thanks, guys. Bye.